Wait. I'm not about to get on a plane that's being piloted by some cripple.
I promise, sir, my disability has no impact on my ability to fly. In fact, I've logged over 15,000 hours in the air over my 20-year career with the airlines.
Okay. You can lie about your resume all you want to. I'm not letting you get me killed. Not today. I need to get to Houston in one piece. Get out of my way.
I am so sorry. He was way out of line.
Thanks. It's kind of you to say, but sadly enough, I'm used to it. I've dealt with people telling me what I can and can't do my whole life. Never let it stop me before, though. And won't today. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
This is unacceptable. How can you subject paying customers to flying with a pilot who can't even walk? That can't be legal.
Sir, I've already told you.
And I'm telling you, I want a different pilot now.
Okay, we can't just swap out pilots. And even if I could, I wouldn't because James is literally the best pilot in the entire airline.
You can't be serious. That man is an invalid. He should be working with a carnival, not flying a multi-million-dollar plane.
Mr. Wilson, look, you have a choice. You can get back on that plane before the doors close, or you can wait for the next flight out to Houston, which is in 6 hours.
Unbelievable. Whoa.
Welcome back.
You better not make me regret this. I have a huge meeting tomorrow night, and I want to get there in one piece. Got it? Mr. DEI hire. Can you believe that guy is a pilot? I mean, that is completely ridiculous. The guy can't even feel his own legs, and yet we're supposed to trust that he'll keep this giant airplane up in the air. I'm telling you, it's going to be a miracle if we make it off the runway without crashing. I mean, it's criminal, don't you think? The way this airline just takes all these passengers' lives at risk just so they can say they hired a cripple. That's nuts. Who does that?
Okay, what's nuts is the way you are speaking. The pilot has decades worth of experience. And the airline clearly trusts him, and so do I. So just drop it.
You are as crazy as the airline.
Don't call me crazy.
Okay, then, you're an idiot. I mean, you have to be to think that any of this is acceptable. All of these people's lives are in grave danger. Of course, that means that me having this conversation with you, I'm completely wasting my time. Ugh.
Thank you for flying all the way out here to meet me in person. I find it so much more enlightening than interviewing candidates over Zoom.
Oh, please, Mr. Lewis, it's no problem at all. You know, I don't get the chance very often to sit and dine with one of Fortune 500's top CEOs in the world.
Well, your resume is very impressive. But before I offer you the position, I wanted to meet with you in person. I wanted to be able to look in your eye and see what kind of man you are.
That is smart. You can never really know a person until you look them in the eye. That kind of business savvy, sir, that is why Fortune put you on the front cover last month. Mr. Lewis, I'm gonna make this simple. I am an open book. I pride myself on my compassion and understanding, and those are the core tenets that I use when I'm managing my team. And you just throw in a dash of kindness and a splash of patience, and you got my perfect recipe for success.
Well, we were supposed to be joined by another candidate, but looks like she's decided to stand us up.
Well, punctuality is it's a character trait. You know, I think if someone can't be bothered to show up on time, it's very likely they won't be a successful CFO.
Perhaps you're right.
I am so sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lewis. I got an Uber from the hotel, and someone rear-ended us, and then they just drove off. And then I just couldn't keep my driver in a lurch, so I stood with him until the cops came to back up his story.
Wow. I'm just relieved that you're okay.
Oh, thank you. It was a bit scary in the beginning, but I just knew I had to stay with him, you know, and he could have lost his job.
Yeah.
You again?
Wait a minute. You two know each other?
Yes.
No. We sat next to each other on the flight.
Oh, of course. My assistant booked both your flights at the same time. Please, sit. Okay. So, finally, here we are. You two are my top choices for the CFO position. Harry, your resume is very impressive. Jackie, your passion for your work is absolutely infectious. But as you could probably tell, I'm a little bit torn. That's why I wanted to meet the both of you in person. You see, I need to hear it from the horse's mouth. I need you to tell me, why should I pick you for this position?
Well, it's simple, Mr. Lewis. You see, you have built a powerhouse company with a market cap in the billions. And what you need is someone with experience who can take your company to the next level. Someone who cares not only about the bottom line, but about the people below him. I am exactly that type of CFO, sir.
Jackie?
Well, I have wanted to work for you for many years. You see, your company changed my life and my father's.
How did we do that?
My father lost the use of his legs in an accident when I was a young girl, and it was hard for him at first. You see, prior to the accident, he was very active, but not having the use of his legs, that made him spiral into a depression. Until your company's charity initiative to cover the cost of modifying our home, which made it easier for my dad. That really brought the zest of life back to him, and it saved us. I just can't imagine a better way to earn a living than by being able to help people and others reclaim their dignity.
I can relate completely. You see, my cousin, he's in a wheelchair. And he got there from a terrible car accident. He had a rough time of it. You know, when I think about my cousin, I think about how he could have benefited from a company like yours, one that creates solutions for people with handicaps. And that is, sir, that is the main #1 reason I applied for this job in the first place.
You've never mentioned that before.
Well, I didn't want to brag.
Well, that makes my decision that much more difficult. But unfortunately, I need someone with experience. I'd like to offer the job. Jimbo, is that you? What are you doing here?
I had a layover in Houston tonight and thought I'd grab a steak. I thought you were out of town.
I got back early, had to conduct an interview. Hey, won't you join us?
Man, that fourth quarter was amazing. Oh, man.
Oh.
Hey, hello there. It's good to see you.
Going somewhere, Harry?
I just need to use the restroom.
That voice sounds familiar. Oh, it's you. Wonderful.
How do you two know each other?
We don't.
This gentleman caused a scene on my plane today.
What kind of scene?
He had a problem with a cripple. His words, being his pilot. He tried to get me replaced.
Mr. Lewis, it was just some sort of misunderstanding. Trust me. You must have misheard me.
I certainly didn't mishear you when you said that we'd be lucky if we didn't crash on the runway. Or when you called him a DEI hire.
Do you know how many times I've had to defend my brother against people like you?
Brother?
That's right. When my brother had his accident and was paralyzed, I saw how hard he worked to succeed despite his disability. It inspired me to form a company to help the disabled reclaim their lives. Jimbo is not just my brother. He's my inspiration. He's my hero. And to think, I would have given a monster like you a CFO job. What a disaster that would have been.
Well, it's good to meet you again. Mrs. Brown was also on my flight. She was lovely, kind, and went out of her way to help me up when Mr. Wilson here put me down.
Did she now? Well, I guess I found the perfect candidate to be my CFO. What do you think? Do you want the job?
Yes, I'd love to. Thank you.
Oh, come on. You can't be serious.
If I were you, I'd be looking for a flight home.
What do you mean? You already bought my you
Canceled it. Now, shall we celebrate?
Yes.
Celebrate.
Drinks are in the house, everybody.